Hey Run Junkies, welcome to the week 13, I think. I don't know, I've lost count. Weekend update for Goofy's Race and a Half Challenge. November got away from me completely. In fact, a lot of things got away from me in the last couple of weeks, including the week 12 training update. I shot a few things and it just wasn't my week. Even though there were some great things that happened last week, I just never got around to posting the video. So here's what I'm going to do. In two parts this weekend, I am going to give you week 12 and week 13, if those are indeed the numbers that we're on. Like I said, I've completely lost count. The dog's going to hide under the table. First off, I have been experimenting with moving some runs around. As many of you know, I have developed my own training plan for Goofy's Race and a Half Challenge. It was 20 weeks long, averaging 4 runs a week. Now, I've learned a few things along the way and I started moving some things around. So here's how I did that.
Good morning and happy Tuesday. It is a chilly 25 degrees, but beautiful, bright and sunshine. And looking forward to getting in a few miles this morning. Took yesterday off, did some yoga. Felt pretty good about that. Today though, I have a 3-mile run planned, 3 miles easy. One thing that I have discovered about this plan that I've written for myself is that it's enough running, it's enough mileage, it's enough time on my feet. However, I don't feel like it's distributed well throughout the week. Every week I've had the first run of the week come in at about 3 miles. And I would do the 3 miles rather than go by time. So it's a nice start to the week, but I almost feel like I could push to 4 miles without compromising too much with my running health. But it is Tuesday, November 12th. And for those of you who are Disney fans or probably know, this is the day that Disney Plus launched. Got up this morning, installed the apps, watched The Mandalorian, explored it a little bit, and I thought, oh boy, there's so much to watch.
Now I will say that a lot of the extras that aren't extra started falling by the wayside. The afternoon, evening walks, I was starting to skip those more often than not. When I got them in, I would do more than I guess I asked myself for, but I wasn't doing them as frequently as I felt I needed to. In addition, I wasn't getting the cross training in the way I was hoping for either. Yoga was good, but I don't feel like I had enough strength. So I just really tried to get those walks in. Wasn't always successful. So I have to admit something. I haven't been doing my evening walks. I've just been forgetting them. Okay, are they required? No, but are they nice to have? Yeah. I can say that the more time you spend on your feet, and by you, I'm going to say me for now, the more time you spend on your feet during a training cycle like this, if you're training for a Disney Parks race set, especially if you're doing more than one race, spending time on your feet and doing those walks is tremendously helpful. And I will say that I've just been forgetting, because I like to take those evening walks and move them off of my morning run. So I got out for a run this morning about 7. Was done by 8, and it's only, like I said, it's only 2. I want to give it a little bit extra time, but the problem with that is that the sun is going to be down soon, which is so awesome. By this time in the day, I just want to get through the rest of the day. By the time I hit 4 o'clock, I have completely switched hats from, content creator to mom. So I haven't been as consistent as I would like, which means time to rededicate and refocus and pull it all back in again and make sure it gets done. Now, one really fun thing that happened last week was that it was my birthday week and some awesome things happened, but those awesome things actually kind of backfired on me.
So a couple things that I haven't mentioned yet this week. It's my birthday tomorrow, and I'm really excited. First of all, I got some wonderful well wishes from some of you. You know who you are, so thank you for that. But my family is so amazing, and I have to show you why. Okay, first off, this is something I've wanted since it came out last year, and I knew it was prohibitive in a great many ways. This is the Millennium Falcon, and yes, it's on its side. This is the Millennium Falcon Ultimate Collector's Edition. This is an enormous box. The piece count on this is like 7,500. It's enormous. Started building it last night. This is just the frame. Like, this is just step one. Look at how massive this thing is. I have switched, and this is one of the things I've done with my Goofy Challenge training plan. I have switched my long run to Sunday. I've pushed my entire week back a day. So my rest day is on Monday, and then I start from there. And I finish off the week on Sunday with a long run. So I'm gonna do that until I get to my 20 miler, which is about mid-December. Good morning and happy Friday. And it's not just Friday, but it's also my birthday. Okay, I am going to Starbucks and getting myself a birthday Starbucks. And I think I'm gonna get myself a huge cinnamon roll, because that's what I feel like eating. I gave my son like a 10-minute hug this morning, because the best gift I've ever gotten ever is getting to be his mom. So that was probably the best thing that I could do for my birthday. Okay, good morning. We are out for an 8-mile run, 8-mile negative split run this morning. I'm gonna get started here in a second, but 8 miles negative split, that's gonna be 48 minutes in zone 1, 48 minutes in zone 2. Nothing too intense today because I do have my long run tomorrow. So what I'm planning on doing, I've got the dog and I've got a squirrel throwing things at me today. So I've got Mr. Wondermutt here, ready to go. And he wasn't quite ready this morning. He wanted to back out. A little overcast today, but pleasant. So it's gonna be a fun morning.
Now this is where things started turning around for me. I've been having amazing runs. I've been training by heart rate, as many of you know, and a lot of those easy runs were actually trending faster, but the heart rate was staying lower, which is just a sign of developing that cardiovascular fitness. I was starting to feel really good, and that actually prompted me to think about making some changes to my training plan going forward. I was feeling great. I was nailing all of my runs. That is until my long run on Sunday.
Morning, guys. Sunday morning, long run day, 18 miles or 3 hours and 36 minutes. It's about 10 to 5 and I'm not awake yet. I'm just not awake. I'm meant to be out the door. My intention was to be out the door in 10 minutes. That's not happening. For the second week in a row, I failed to set my alarm for 4 o'clock so I could get everything done before I get out the door. By that, I mean get my phone rolling in, have something to eat, get the dog leashed up, do my warm-ups. It's not going to happen, but I am not awake. I'm just not awake. I didn't stay up late, went to bed at a fairly decent hour, but I'm struggling to wake up this morning. Yeah, embrace the suck. That's where we are. Struggling today. Physically, yeah, but mentally too. It's just a slog today. This is a mental slog. It's chilly, not horrible, but my bed is warmer and I'm not comfortable and I'm not enjoying it. Can't even really get into the book. The book is good. I mean, it's a great story, but I'm just not I'm in my own head. Today's not my day. Today is just not my day.
So here's the thing, you guys. Nothing about this run was right. I did post on Instagram how I was feeling about this run and kind of how I coped with it, which was basically to ignore it and just stuff it in a drawer until I could deal with it. And I never really got into the run. I never really found that mental peace. I could have physically kept running all day. Nothing was hurting. I wasn't in pain. I wasn't sore. My heart rate was actually staying in zone, and I felt really good. And the worst part for this run was about 2.5 hours in, I slowed to a walk, which wasn't the issue, but that I mentally completely checked out. I spaced out. I feel like I lost time because it was 3 blocks later that I realized what was going on. And then I stopped walking completely. I stopped moving forward. I sat down in the middle of the trail and spaced out. Just stopped. On my butt, I sat down. And I started thinking, I started to rally again, and I asked myself, I said, okay, I can't sit here like this. I can't sit here like this all day. But I also know that I'm not finishing this run. I knew I could call my husband. I wasn't that far away from home, but I knew I could call my husband because he knew I had texted him early on and he knew I was struggling. And he asked me an hour before, do you want me to come get you? But I thought, no, I can rally. I can walk home. It's 1.5 miles from home. I at least need to try and do this on my own power. So I did. And I made it home. And as I walked, I was feeling more and more defeated. And I walked in the door. My head was hanging and I was sobbing. I hated everything about that run. I couldn't enjoy it. There was nothing that I could scrape together that felt good about it. And I felt like it was just a waste of 3 hours. I could have done so many other things with that 3 hours. So what happened? Why was this run so bad? It took me all day, really, to process down all of the things that kind of led to that particular bad experience of a run. So the first thing that I came up with was that I maybe had too many special treats on my birthday. And you might respond and say, well, you should treat yourself on your birthday. Yeah, but there is too much of a good thing. Okay, I overdid it. And I'm marathon training. Thing 2 is the mental piece of it. I know I personally struggle with seasonal affective disorder, also known as seasonal depression. And if you've been around for a while, you know that I struggled with that last season. And this time around, I feel like it hit harder and earlier than it has in the past. And it really kind of just took me by surprise. I couldn't get myself motivated to even talk about the running. I couldn't motivate myself for the video. There was nothing about running that I wanted to be a part of. And so I let it go. I let all of this go. For a few days, I had to take a step back in order to kind of refocus and reset and figure out what the heck is going on with me. So once I came to that realization that it is perhaps seasonal depression, then I was able to function and work around it and find ways to get beyond it or cope with it or fold it into my day rather than ignore it. And like I've said, while seasonal depression may warrant a much larger conversation, I know I have it and I know I have to deal with it. And it is a thing, you guys. It is definitely a thing. So for all of you who supported me through that whole week, not just the birthday wishes, because those were amazing. You guys are all absolutely amazing. But also in the knowing nods and virtual hugs when things got tough. Thank you guys for being there for me. Now guys, that's going to be it for this part of the Goofy Race and a Half Challenge Weekend Update, part 12. Let's just call it 12. So my question for you today is this. Do you or does someone in your family or someone close to you deal with seasonal depression? And if so, how do you or how do they cope with it? Please leave thoughts, questions, comments, and suggestions in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that thumbs up if you like this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We will see you on the next one, which is coming up, seriously, like any second now. Until I see you then, Go find your awesome and happy running.